What's up, guys?
Benavidez, how proud of you were your son on the stage yesterday with Ryan Garcia? Man?
We're really proud. Supporting a fellow Mexican American on a big fight for Ryan Garcia. You know, big shout out to him too. He's really cool. He's really polite. You know, he's really nice to my son. You know, he's gave my son a lot of shine, so I really appreciate that. And we're just excited for his fight tonight. And you know, we're gonna be here showing him a lot of support.
David, do you view this as a fight for the legit cruiserweight title, or is Opetaia lineal, or do you see it as this fight is because it's for 2 belts?
I mean, I think it's definitely legit because he has 2 world titles. I mean, it doesn't really matter if Opetaia has another one. He has 2 legit titles right there. So I think so. It's a legit fight. It's a legit, you know, title shot, and I'm be very happy once I capture those 2 titles.
Are you looking to settle in at cruiserweight and look at Opetaia next, or get back to the light heavyweight division, fight Bivol, fight Beterbiev?
Well, I'm just taking every fight one fight at a time. You know, there's a lot of stuff I like to do, you know, but a lot of people sometimes they're not ready to fight or this and that. Opetaia just signed with Zuffa Boxing, so that's another, you know, roadblock for that fight too. But I don't know. I feel like right now I'm 100% focused on this fight with me, Zurdo Ramirez, and he deserves all my attention. You know, he requires all my attention because he's a big guy. He's a champion at cruiserweight. So I'm only thinking about this fight right now, and then we're gonna try and make the biggest and best fights happen after this.
How strong are you feeling at the weight class, David?
Well, I mean, I still don't know because I haven't fought at cruiserweight. I feel good. You know what I mean? The difference from this fight is that I'm not gonna have to lose any weight. I'm actually gonna have to be putting on weight, putting muscle. We got 10 weeks to do that, so I mean, I feel like I'm gonna be the best. You know, I'm not gonna have to lose weight at all. So it's just I don't know how that feels yet, you know, but I know it's gonna feel good. So I'm expecting the best version of myself that night.
David, for the longest time, man, David Benavidez conversation was always attached to a Canelo Alvarez conversation. How does it feel now that you're truly making your own lane, making your own moves in boxing? Like, what's the difference now that we're not constantly talking about Canelo Alvarez anymore?
I mean, to be honest with you, if Canelo Alvarez is in boxing, he's always going to be in the picture because the fans are never going to forget about that. They're always going to want that. The thing I've made it very clear about myself that I'm not going to wait for Canelo. You know, I'm going over here and making my own lane, going up to cruiserweight. So it feels good, but it feels good to be in my own lane and doing, you know, other stuff, and you know, I'm able to get my glory besides just that one Canelo fight. But to be honest with you, you guys are always going to be interested in that fight, so that question is never going to leave. You know what I mean? But I mean, it doesn't matter to me. At the end of the day, the fans deserve that fight. Whether it happens, whether it doesn't, I don't know. But if it's possible to make it happen one day, we're ready for whatever.
Hey, David, how's your power feel at that weight? The higher weight?
I feel pretty good now. I won't know until I step in because I've never fought at cruiserweight. Whereas it's a big jump up in weight from 175 to 200. It's 25 pounds. It's funny because you got like 30, 35, 40, 47. It's an increment of 5 to 7 pounds. From here, from 175 to 200 is what, 25 pounds, 20 pounds. So it's a big change, but you know, I'm a big guy, so it shouldn't.
What's your weight now, David?
Right now I'm at 205.
What do you expect from this event, the first Cinco de Mayo event for you? What's your expectations on this?
No, I feel it's going to be a really big event. Yo siento que va a ser un evento muy grande y pues estoy muy orgulloso de estar aquí en esta posición y como le dije a todos los fans, le quiero dar una guerra y eso es lo que va a ser Mayo 2.
You talked about Zuffa and Opetaia. Have y'all laid out a game plan? Has that come up in conversations? Like, how do we get that? Is there a road to eventually see, you know, if the Zurdo fight goes the way you think it's going to go, is there a road? Have there been discussions? Have there been thoughts to a potential fight with Opetaia and how that happens?
There's been no discussion and no talks. Like I said, we're taking it one fight at a time. It would have been easier to make that fight happen, but like I said, he's with Zuffa. There's a lot of... It seems like they're at war, you know, the boxing politics, you know, PBC, Golden Boy, Ring Magazine. Or actually, Ring is with Zuffa, actually. So I don't know. We're not to sit back and just see what happens, you know what I mean? I don't know. You know what I mean? Like I said, I'm focused on this fight. As for me trying to get the biggest fights in the world, like with Opetaia, Beterbiev, there's even another champion at cruiserweight. I'm trying to make that happen. It's just that we gotta take it one step at a time.
David, tienes ir por un título en una tercera división y en una fecha tan mexicana, tan latina. del fin de semana, el 5 de mayo? ¿Qué es lo que sientes tú?
Pues me siento muy orgulloso de tener esta oportunidad para pelear Mayo segundo, el fin de semana del 5 de mayo. Me siento orgulloso, feliz y vamos a hacer muy bien esa fecha y como le dije, le vamos a dar a los fans una guerra.
What do you think about getting this opportunity to fight what many people feel is reserved for like Canelo, Mayweather, Chavez? Now, would you say this is the superstar date that will always be for David Benavidez?
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't say always, man. I think that date is not, it doesn't belong to one fighter. It was Julio Cesar Chavez, Oscar De La Hoya, Floyd Mayweather, Canelo. It's the people who give the best fights in boxing. And, you know, what I want to do is not only have these dates, but put the best possible fights on there. You know, I feel like when fans come out to see me fight May 5th or September 16th, I want them to never forget not only the event, but the fight. Basically saying that I'm not going to do no easy fights. I want to get out there, I want to give the best, the hardest fights, so I can leave a long-lasting impression on the fans.
David, what weight
has
could
been the
Canelo
biggest
be at?
focus in camp for you, David? Was it power, conditioning, or patience?
Well, we still got 10 weeks left. We still got so, well, we still got a while. I mean, I've been training for the past 5 weeks, and it's just, this camp is going to be different because, you know, we're putting on more muscle. You know, I already got the training part down and like losing weight part down, but now it's different because I'm not going to be losing no weight. You know, the weight is going to come off by itself in 10 weeks. You know, I train like an animal. So I'm just enjoying the process that I don't got to lose weight. So, you know, so I'm very happy about it.
You mentioned Canelo fight could still happen. Realistically, with you at Cruiserweight, what weight is realistic for that?
175. That's why I want to stay, you know what I mean? When I'm at Cruiserweight, I don't want to go up too heavy, and I didn't want to come in heavy either, because I still want to go down to 175, because if the fight happens with Canelo, it's going to be 175. It's not going to be super middleweight.
David,
that's even if it does happen, but that's what I'm saying. I want to stay light. You know, I want to be able to go up and down easy. You know, I don't want to gain too much muscle and then not be able to go down to 175. My main goal is to be one of the best reigning champions at light heavyweight in history. So the only reason I took this fight because it was an opportunity I couldn't pass up. You know what I mean? But my main focus is 175. So if that fight does happen, it's at 175.
So is Bivol the number one fight you would want at 175?
Yeah, Bivol, Benavidez. And in a dream scenario, if we do 3 fights, it'd be Bivol. After this fight, it'd be Bivol, Benavidez, and Canelo. That would be nice.
Do you see yourself stopping Ramirez?
If I follow the game plan, I put together a good game plan, I could stop him. I know for a fact I could stop him, but we have to put together the good game plan. You know, we have to make sure this camp is outstanding. Everything is good. I mean, we've gone out to a pretty good start. So now I'm just keep finishing it. But I've heard him in sparring before. He knows that. I know that he knows that I know that. Yeah, you know.
Boxing politics is the main topic right now. Do you feel like boxing politics keeps the big fights from happening? A recent interview that Mauricio did said that you assumed that you were not ever going to get Canelo, and that's why it never happened. What are your thoughts on that, and what do you think is really going on in boxing, and why these fights are not really happening?
I feel like now we've kind of closed that gap, that now these big fights are happening, but there's always going to be boxing politics. You know what I mean? Whether they assume I was going to do something or whether or not, it doesn't matter. You know, I'm still pushing to make the biggest fights happen. We've had more success. You know what I mean? I've gone over there to Riyadh, fought in ring season. So I don't see why we can't make these big fights happen. You know, there's a problem in the past, but, you know, we got to move. The patience is key here.
In your opinion, what is wrong with boxing, if anything?
Nothing is wrong with boxing, in my opinion.
David, the belts, how important has been for you, those major belts in your career?
So I'm gonna be very clear on this. Everybody's asking me. I've had a couple people ask about me. For me, the sanctioning bodies, WBC, WBA, IBF, WBO, they're tied to boxing because that's our Super Bowl. That's our NBA championship. I'm very proud to be their champion. How I feel about another boxing organization coming and make their own belts, they're giving other boxers opportunity. I have no problem with that. You know what I mean? If I'm staying here, this is my lane. I'm not saying I'm gonna go fight with Zuffa, none of that. I respect them a lot. They're giving other boxers opportunities that they don't have here. So I have no problem with that.
What did you think of PBC keeping this show independent on their own, not making it a ring card with Turkey like tonight's fight when Golden Boy had the bigger star and they decided to go ahead and make it a ring show? What do you think of PBC with the A side and you just keeping this PBC Golden Boy?
I mean, I don't know, man. To be honest with you, I'm just happy to be a part of this event. I don't really want to get into politics and none of that like that. You know, I feel like, you know, we're in a good position. I'm happy that we're able to make this fight in Las Vegas.
Hey David, with the narrative that you're fighting for the belts, I think a lot of people understand why you win. But some people feel like the Arthur Benavidez fight was probably the fight that the fight fans probably wanted. You know, so for those people who probably felt you should have fought Arthur opposed to Zurdo, is there just a reason? Was it just this was the more?
So what were those people saying when Arthur was supposed to fight Bivol and I didn't fight Bivol? You know what I mean? There's a lot of stuff. People are gonna say a lot of things, but I'm trying to make that fight happen. I'm not running from any of these fighters. If anything, if he would have an opportunity to go up and fight for the Cruiserweight Championship and fighting me for no belt, I think he would go with that. So I'm just trying to, like I said, I'm just trying to make my own lane, achieve my own greatness, and we're telling tell Benavidez to be patient because we're coming for him soon.
People used to laugh, you know, at the idea because of the weight of Crawford coming up and fighting Canelo, right? If Usyk were to do 200, would you fight him?
You guys are giving me a lot of names right now, bro. a little, you know what I mean? I think Usyk, if anybody deserves more respect than anybody's Usyk. You know, that's not a fight I could take lightly. You know, I would have to fight a couple fights at Cruiserweight, feel good there, and then just be at my optimal, the maximum capabilities of myself, because, you know, Usyk is all-time great. He's probably one of the greatest fighters of the century. You know what I mean? So, not Usyk, not right now.
Hey, picking up on that question, man, I know you said your focus is 175, but as you get older, as you grow into your body, does that thought ever cross your mind? Will the Mexican Monster ever compete for a heavyweight championship?
I think I can. The question is not if I can compete at heavyweights, that do I want to.
Yeah.
Right now, I really, cruiserweight, light heavyweight, cruiserweight, probably for the next 5 years. I'm not even thinking about heavyweight. Maybe I'm sure I could fight a heavyweight fight, but right now, until maybe 5 years, I'm not thinking about that.
Amigo, ¿crees que el nombre de Canelo sigue saliendo es porque lo mencionan ustedes, porque lo menciona la prensa, los fanáticos? ¿Por qué tú crees que el nombre de Canelo sigue saliendo cada vez que se habla de ti por ti?
Pues yo creo que sigue saliendo su nombre porque la gente quiere ver esa pelea. Es la pelea más grande de todo boxeo. So, pues, hasta que se retire el Canelo, la gente siempre le van a mencionar mi nombre.
David, you've gone through adversity. What message do you get to the next generation how to fight with adversity, stand strong, and win?
God is key. God is number one. As long as you believe in God and you take the energy from Him, you can be whatever you want to be. Keep working hard, treat your family good, treat your people good, and always try to strive to be the greatest, the best you could possibly be. What I mean by that is, if you're ready in yourself and you feel ready, take the hardest fights that you could possibly take, because that's how you bring greatness out of yourself. Obviously, if you're not ready, don't take those fights. But if you feel like you're ready, bro, just reach for the stars. Go and get the best fights out there, because I see a lot of people chasing money. And yeah, it's cool, we all want to make money, but how do you get to the money? You take the biggest challenges first, and then you get the money after. I think people now, they just want to get the big paydays and not take the big fights, but it's the other way around. You get the big fights out the way, then you get the big paydays. So,
David, how special is your bond with your son? I know we talked about Karina last time, and she's here always supporting you, looking beautiful. How special is it to have him on stage with you a lot of times before your fights?
Yeah, it feels really good. He gives me, not only just him, but all my kids. They give me a lot of the power, and they give me the energy I need necessary to go in there and do what I do. You know, if it wasn't for my kids, my wife, my family, I wouldn't have this energy that I have now. So just because of them, I go in there and I'm able to achieve what I achieve.
David.
Hey, as we get older, is there ever a scenario where you wear a toupee in the ring?
I don't want to kick a man while he's down either. I mean, shit happens sometimes. I don't know.
David, the biggest story in the last 24 hours that Conor Ben's left Eddie Hearn and Jordan Zuffa. What do you make of that and people calling him disloyal?
I have no comment about that, to be honest with you. I feel like if he thought that was the best move for him and his family, he's able to make that decision.
Hey David, what do you think about the report saying that Floyd may do a professional fight?
What did you say?
There's word that potentially Floyd might come out and do a professional fight.
Oh yeah.
What's your thoughts on it, as a fan?
I mean, as a fan, I feel like I see what they're doing. They see like the influencer has just turned it into like, I'm not gonna say a whole circus show, but if I feel like they see if these people can come in here and make all this money, then why can't the legends of boxing do that? I feel like they're all the legends of boxing looking at that, and I don't have a problem with them coming back and fighting, but I mean, it's not as exciting as it once was. You know what I mean? I mean, Floyd Mayweather was Floyd Mayweather, but who is he gonna fight? I mean, unless he fights Pacquiao again, I would love to see that.
What about
How do you think that goes? How do you think a Pacquiao-Floyd rematch would go?
I don't know, but I would love to see it. I mean, if Floyd Mayweather is still who he is, I think Floyd Mayweather will win, but I don't know. We have to see. You know, they're both older guys. I think Floyd is 50. You know what I mean? And I'm not trying to disrespect any type of way, but he's a 50-year-old man. You know what I mean? Pacquiao's a 48-year-old man too. So I heard something that Mayweather was going to fight Mike Tyson. So if they could do that, then by all means, go ahead.
He said he's going out of time after the exhibition.
Last question, okay? Over there, you got some over here.
David, what is it about it? I mean, you talked about the politics of it all. You're really untouched by this. Why do you think that is? I mean, you can deal with all these different parties.
Well, because I've done what I had to do to make sure I get here in the level I'm at now. You know what I mean? We've worked good with a lot of people, you know, and I have a lot of loyalty with the people that have helped me get to where I'm at. So we all move together. Even, you know, my last fight, I didn't go to ring willingly. I did go to ring willingly, but they gave me the opportunity. You know what I mean? I told Turkey Al-Sheikh was, you know, he's asking me if I could fight on there. I said, hey, I'm with PBC. You know what I mean? I don't want problems. You know, I'm very happy here. Yeah. Luis Tacuba came to me with the opportunity. He said, we want you to fight over here. So I just, you know what I mean? I feel like I take care of the promotion company takes care of me. So it's a full circle, and I'm really grateful.
Norm?
And then big shout out to the man, Samson Lukowitz, who's gone in the building. You know, he's giving me the opportunity to help me be the best version of myself, and you know, I'm just very grateful for this, man.
Thank you, David.
Yeah, thank you.
I cannot hold. I need to have something in red. For me, it's still a bandera roja. And you know why? Because when you go to the beach and you see a red flag, you know it's danger.
Yeah.
And this man is danger. And thank you to Mike Tyson too, because he put you the right name. But in that time, you don't have.
Yeah.
I cannot tell you you're the monster. Today, yes.
Had to earn that nickname, the monster.
You still going by that or what?
Yes,
Yeah.
let him go. Tyson is better
the
than
monster.
Go ahead.
David, is this your peak right now, or do you feel like you're not peaking just yet?
No, this is not my peak. All the groundwork I put in over the years, I got 13 years professional. I've been boxing 26 years. So this is not my peak. I'm stepping into my peak, and it's been a long time coming. You know, I've stayed patient. You know, I've fought the fights I needed to fight. I've looked the way I've needed to look, and now I'm just enjoying this moment. Now it's time to work even harder.
From a technical aspect, where do you feel like you are still improving fight to fight?
Well, there's every boxer can improve in whatever he needs to improve on. You know, that's for me to know. But we're improving on all that stuff.
Thanks.
What did you learn the most from?
Huh?
What was your toughest fight?
My toughest fight?
So far.
Probably with the scale. No, I mean the higher you go up in level, I mean there's always going to be tough fights. You know, Caleb Plant was a tough fight. Andre was a tough fight. Morel was a tough fight. But this is what I expect from these fights. I don't expect no easy fights from them. So every fight, you know, every fight is getting tougher and tougher. So I mean, for me, that's the route I want to go. You know, I want to fight better and better opponents every single fight. So I'm expecting every fight to be tougher than the last.
Any more questions?
Given everything that we have heard about trying to move back down in weight, especially 25 pounds, is the optimal outcome for you in this fight to stop Zurdo and feel that encouragement to both stay at cruiserweight and perhaps make that move to heavyweight?
No. No, I want to. Like I said, I had an opportunity to go up to cruiserweight. We took that opportunity, but like I said, I have a lot of unfinished business at 175. So we're doing this, and I'm not thinking about heavyweight at all. You guys keep bringing up heavyweight. I'm not thinking about it.
Right here. mexicanos que te van a estar apoyando el día 2 de mayo y para que pues le eches muchas ganas.
No, pues le quiero invitar a toda mi gente, todos los fans de México, todos los mexicanos de los Estados Unidos aquí a mi pelea. Mayo 2 va a ser una guerra y le voy a dar algo muy especial a todos los fans. Muchas gracias.
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 All right, guys, we're gonna do some one-on-ones.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, guys.